Hey, Sarah, why didn't you answer my call when I called you?
You mean during lunch? I was working, so I couldn't answer. You should know that.
I tried calling you 3 times. It was important.
I saw the missed calls, but I can't just stop working to answer personal calls.
It was an emergency. I needed you to pick up right away. You're only working part-time. You could have answered the phone.
What kind of logic is that? Part-time doesn't mean I can take personal calls whenever.
When I call, you should answer, period. No excuses.
No, I couldn't. Part-time or not, it's still a real job. Maybe during break, but not in the middle of my shift. I can't take personal calls while working.
You don't understand how important this was.
Then explain it to me. What was so urgent?
This wasn't a personal call. It was about my work. You made me look bad. What are you gonna do about that?
Look bad? What are you talking about? I can't be blamed for something when I don't even know what happened. Why did you call in the first place?
I forgot the documents for today's meeting at home. I was calling so you could bring them to me.
The documents you left on the living room table?
Yes, those ones. I needed them urgently. Because of you, my boss yelled at me. Even my coworkers told me to get my act together. None of this would have happened if you just answered your phone when I called.
Those documents? I reminded you about them last night. I even pointed them out on the living room table.
You should have reminded me this morning, too, so I wouldn't forget.
I did remind you this morning. You said, I know, and kept playing on your phone.
That's not how it happened.
It's exactly how it happened. I even put them next to your keys.
Then why didn't you make sure I took them?
It's your fault for forgetting them. Don't try to blame this on me.
Then why didn't you remind me again right before I left? It's a wife's job to keep track of these things for her husband. It's your fault I forgot them.
My job? I already work, cook, and clean. Now I have to be your personal secretary, too?
Don't exaggerate. You're making this bigger than it needs to be.
I'm not exaggerating. You never take responsibility for anything.
Stop arguing and just apologize.
Just stop. You always blame me for everything.
Because you never do things properly.
What exactly isn't proper about what I do?
A good wife would make sure her husband has everything he needs.
You're a grown man, Tom. Do the bare minimum yourself. I'm not here to be your keeper.
That's not the attitude a wife should have.
And what attitude should I have? Happy to be blamed for your mistakes?
Supporting my work is part of being my wife. We're married. We're supposed to help each other.
Help each other? When was the last time you helped me with anything?
I work hard to provide for us. You're too old to not understand something this basic.
And you're too old to need a babysitter. This isn't helping each other. You never apologize when you're wrong, Tom. You just blame everything on me.
Because it usually is your fault, so I can blame you.
Really? Like when you missed the dentist appointment I reminded you about 3 times? How was that my fault?
That was different.
Or when you forgot your mother's birthday, even though I put it in your calendar?
Stop bringing up old things.
That's not what helping each other means.
Bottom line, this is your fault. You need to apologize to my boss, my coworkers, and me.
Apologize to your boss? Are you being serious? Why do I need to apologize to them?
Yes, tell them you're sorry for making me forget the documents.
You want me to say, I'm sorry I forgot to remind my husband to take his documents? That would be humiliating for you. Do you even hear yourself?
It's the right thing to do.
The right thing would be you taking responsibility for once.
Then just apologize to me! Or are you too proud to apologize after causing all this? When you do something wrong, you should say you're sorry.
I did nothing wrong. I reminded you multiple times.
You're being stubborn again.
No, I'm done. I'm already exhausted from work. I do all the housework, I wait up for you to come home, and now you want me to apologize for something that makes no sense?
Stop playing victim. This isn't about housework.
It's about everything. You never appreciate anything I do.
You just don't get it. I got yelled at because of you. You're in the wrong here, so you should apologize.
Maybe you got yelled at because you deserved it.
How dare you say that?
What's the point of making me apologize? This is all you've done since we got married.
What do you mean by that?
Everything is always my fault. Always. I went to the doctor recently because I wasn't feeling well. They told me I should distance myself from my husband. Do you understand what that means?
What, doctor? Why didn't you tell me about this?
I did, 3 weeks ago. You were watching TV and said whatever.
What's that supposed to mean? That doctor's probably a quack. Don't worry about stuff like that.
Of course, that's your response.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means you never listen to me, never care about me or my health. Whatever, talking to you is pointless. I'm going to bed early today. Don't come into the bedroom tonight.
It's only 7:30. You can't go to bed now.
Watch me.
What are you mad about? It's too early to sleep.
I don't want to look at your face right now. You should understand that much.
You're being childish.
No, I'm being done with this.
Oh, really? Well, you better have the bath ready and dinner prepared before you go sulk. At least do that much.
Making demands even now?
It's the least you could do after today.
It's all done. Do whatever you want. Good night.
This isn't over.
For tonight, it is.
You can't just decide that.
Already did. Good night.
Stop ignoring me.
This is my last message for tonight. I need space. Please respect that.
Fine, be that way, but we're talking about this tomorrow. Hey, Mom, you've got to hear this. Sarah's been ignoring me since yesterday. She's literally the worst.
What's wrong? Did something happen at home? Why is she ignoring you?
She's being completely unreasonable.
What happened? Did you two have a fight or something?
She won't even call it a fight. She says she needs space.
That sounds serious. Tell me what happened.
Well, it's not really a fight. We had a small argument last night, and now she's just being angry at me for no reason.
No reason at all?
It was just work stuff. She wouldn't answer her phone when I needed her.
Did you say something to upset her?
Why does everyone always think I said something wrong?
I'm just trying to understand the situation, that's all.
She's the one who's wrong, but when I got mad, she turned it around on me. She won't even apologize. I can't deal with her.
What exactly did she do?
I forgot some documents at home, important ones.
And?
She wouldn't bring them to me. She wouldn't even answer her phone.
Was she busy?
She was at work, but it's just part-time.
Are you sure Sarah's the one who's wrong? Maybe you said something to make her upset without realizing it.
Not you too, Mom. She always makes everyone take her side.
I'm not taking sides. I'm just asking questions.
No, Sarah's just stubborn. She can't admit when she's wrong. If she'd just apologize, I'd forgive her right away.
Forgive her for what exactly?
For making me look bad at work. She's such a pain.
How did she make you look bad?
By not bringing me the documents.
The ones you forgot?
Yes, but she should have reminded me.
Well, if Sarah's in the wrong, that's not good. She should apologize if she did something wrong.
Exactly. Finally, someone understands.
Has this happened before?
She's always like this. She never wants to help.
Even married couples have their limits.
What do you mean by that?
Just that marriage takes work from both sides, not just one.
Well, she's not working at it at all. She slept in the guest room, and now she's giving me the silent treatment. Mom, can you talk to her? She won't listen to anything I say.
How long has this been going on?
The silent treatment? Since last night.
No, I mean the fighting.
We don't fight that much.
But when you do?
She always overreacts. She says I never apologize.
I could talk to her, but this kind of thing can be trouble if it keeps happening.
What kind of trouble?
Marriage trouble. Big trouble. Maybe we should handle this more firmly to prevent future problems.
Firmly? You mean I should just wait for her to apologize? She's not even making breakfast anymore.
Is that all she's not doing?
She's barely talking to me, just short answers.
There's an easier way. I used to do this with your father when we fought.
Dad? Really?
Even Sarah would apologize right away.
Dad? Sarah's stubborn, but Dad's on another level. What did you do?
Do you want to know my secret?
Of course I do.
It's simple. Just show her some divorce papers with your signature.
What? Divorce papers?
Ask her what she prefers, divorce or apologizing.
That seems kind of extreme.
Sometimes you need to be extreme to get results.
Wait, what if she actually wants a divorce? I don't want to divorce Sarah.
Think about it logically. She works part-time, right? Looking at her salary, there's no way she'd choose divorce.
You really think so?
She will apologize right away.
But what if? I mean, Sarah can be really stubborn. What if she says she wants a divorce just because she doesn't want to apologize?
You're overthinking it.
Am I, though?
Don't be so weak. Sarah's the one who's wrong, right? It'll be fine.
But using divorce papers as a threat?
Trust your mother on this.
Did it really work with Dad?
Every time.
Really? Every time?
Would I lie to you?
Well, even Dad would apologize, so I guess Sarah wouldn't actually choose divorce.
Exactly. She needs you.
She does, doesn't she? I'll do it!
That's my boy. Trust me, this will solve everything.
But where do I get divorce papers?
Leave that to me. That's right. You're off work the day after tomorrow, right? I'll get the divorce papers for you, and you can try it then.
That soon?
Strike while the iron is hot.
What should I say when I show them to her?
Be firm. Don't waver. I'm sure she'll apologize right away.
And if she doesn't?
She will. Don't worry about anything else.
You seem really sure about this.
A mother knows these things.
Thanks, Mom. I'm glad I talked to you about this.
Just remember to be confident when you show her the papers.
I will.
And don't back down, no matter what she says at first.
You really think this will work?
Trust me, this will solve everything.
Okay, I'll text you after I do it.
Good. Let me know how it goes.
Thanks for always helping me, Mom.
That's what mothers are for.
This is what happens when you won't apologize to me. Come home and say you're sorry already.
No,
Stop being difficult.
I'm not being difficult. I told you, I'm done.
Just come home and we can talk about this.
I'm not coming back to that house.
You're being ridiculous. Where are you even staying?
Somewhere safe.
What's that supposed to mean? Our house isn't safe?
Do you really want me to answer that?
Taking the divorce papers and running away? Don't bother, I have extras.
Extras? You really prepared for this, didn't you?
Just come home and apologize.
You thought I wouldn't choose divorce if you showed me the papers, right? We knew exactly what you were planning. Now you're the one who has to apologize to me.
We? What do you mean, we?
Figure it out.
Stop playing games.
I'm not playing anything. Not anymore.
If you understand that, stop this pointless resistance.
Pointless? No, this is the most meaningful thing I've done in years. I just filed the divorce papers you gave me, so I don't need to apologize anymore. Isn't that nice?
What? Hold on, you're joking about filing them, right?
Why would I joke about this?
You can't be serious.
I've never been more serious.
But those were just to make you apologize.
Thanks for everything. We're not married anymore. Goodbye.
This has to be a joke. There's no way you could file for divorce.
Why not? You gave them to me yourself. They were all filled out, so there was nothing stopping me.
But you work part-time! You'll struggle financially without me! Besides, you're the one who's wrong, so you wouldn't actually file for divorce!
Still trying to control me with money?
It's not control, it's reality!
Your mom told me.
She did? How do you know about that?
Ask her yourself.
What did she tell you?
If you want details, ask your mom. I'm a stranger to you now, so I have no reason to explain anything. Though I really am grateful you gave me those divorce papers.
Grateful? How can you say that?
Because I mean it. It's the happiest I've been in a long time.
You can't mean that!
But I do.
Who actually files divorce papers like that? Can't we cancel it somehow?
Maybe?
Then let's cancel it! This is just a misunderstanding!
But I'm not going to cancel anything. If you want to try, go ahead and do it yourself.
But I don't know how!
Unlike before, I won't do anything for you anymore. Try doing things on your own for once.
You can't just leave me like this!
Watch me.
What's with that attitude? This is your fault to begin with. I only did this because you wouldn't apologize. You need to fix this.
Even now, you're blaming others. This is what happens when you always push responsibility onto others.
That's because you went and filed the divorce papers on your own. This isn't my fault.
You handed me signed divorce papers, and you're saying what? Did you think I wouldn't divorce you after that? Of course I would.
Mom said it was a good idea.
First me, now your mom? You should really stop this way of thinking.
She said you'd never choose divorce.
Then she was wrong, wasn't she? Otherwise, you'll end up with more irreversible consequences like this. Be careful, since you won't get another chance.
I won't accept this divorce.
You already did when you signed those papers.
I didn't mean to.
You accepted it when you signed the papers, whether you meant it or not. Anyway, I'm done here. I'm satisfied being away from you. Oh, and I'll be filing for alimony too, so keep that in mind. Bye now.
Alimony? You can't be serious.
Watch me.
Hey, wait, Sarah, wait! Sarah, please answer me. We need to talk about this. Sarah! Sarah! Mom, I did what you said, and now Sarah actually divorced me. What are you gonna do about this?
Did she file the papers?
Yes, this is serious.
What do you mean? This is exactly what should have happened.
What's that supposed to mean?
Exactly what I said.
Mom, stop being cryptic. What's going on?
Sarah has been thinking about divorcing you for quite a while now.
That's impossible. We were fine before all this.
Were you really, though?
Of course we were.
If you give signed divorce papers to someone who's been wanting a divorce, of course they're going to file them. Yet you still...
Sarah really wanted a divorce? I never heard anything about this.
When did you ever listen to what Sarah wanted?
I always listen to her.
Really? When is always?
All the time! She never said anything about divorce!
Even if she told you, you wouldn't have listened. That's why she's been talking to me about it.
Talking to you? About me? Behind my back?
She needed someone who would actually listen. Besides, if she just asked for a divorce directly, you wouldn't have agreed.
So what?
That's exactly the problem.
What problem?
Don't you get it? I suggested the divorce paper threats so you would sign them.
You're lying!
Am I? Just think about it.
Why would you do this to me?
Sarah was at her physical and mental limit because of living with you.
That's ridiculous! She was doing just fine!
Was she? Is that why she went to the doctor? Going to court would have just exhausted her more.
Court? What are you talking about?
So I manipulated you into signing the papers. Thanks for that.
Mom, you can't be serious!
You freed Sarah.
I thought you were on my side!
I'm on the side of what's right.
What about that story about showing Dad the divorce papers to make him apologize?
Did you really believe that?
Of course I did! You're my mother!
Of course I never did that. We would have been divorced ages ago if I had.
So you lied to me?
If you thought about it for a second, you'd realize you can't build good relationships through threats.
This is ridiculous! Because of you, I'm divorced from Sarah! How are you gonna take responsibility for this?
Take responsibility like you never do?
This isn't about me!
You're the one who's been causing Sarah trouble all this time. Taking responsibility is your job.
What trouble? We were married, so none of that matters!
Marriage isn't a free pass to treat someone badly.
I just did what any husband would do!
No decent husband would treat his wife like you did. Yelling at her over unreasonable things, never admitting when you're wrong.
I never yelled at her!
Is that what you think a husband should do?
Sarah's just being paranoid! She makes everything sound worse than it is! I haven't done anything wrong!
The hospital visits say otherwise.
What hospital visits?
You know Sarah's been going to the hospital because of the stress from living with you, right?
That was just one time!
It was actually multiple times. You just never noticed. If you were really being a proper husband, that wouldn't have happened.
It's Sarah's fault for being too sensitive. I'm just saying normal things. She's just making it sound worse when she talks to you.
Normal things? Is that what you call it?
Fine, just tell Sarah to come back soon.
She's not coming back.
She has to!
Sarah's right. You really are the worst. I'm ashamed as your mother.
How can you say that to your own son?
No wonder Sarah got fed up with you.
This isn't any of your business. You stuck your nose in our marriage and made everything worse. I won't forgive you either.
I just helped Sarah when she was suffering. If anything, you should be blaming yourself for making your wife and mother go this far. If you don't, you'll always be this selfish and self-centered.
Why are you blaming me? I didn't do anything wrong. Everything's messed up because of you.
I've been quietly listening until now, but that's enough. How can you say you did nothing wrong? Your attitude is exactly what drove Sarah away. She was happy about divorcing you, wasn't she?
She wasn't happy. She couldn't be. She needs me.
Think about what it means when you make your wife feel that way.
Mom, aren't you going to help me? Are you saying I should just accept the divorce?
The divorce is already done. Once divorce papers are filed and accepted, you're not Sarah's husband anymore.
Don't say that! Sarah needs me. You need Dad too, right? It's the same thing. Sarah needs me too, so please convince her.
Yes, I need your father, but Sarah doesn't need you.
She has to need me. We're married.
Not anymore. Your actions made her feel she doesn't need you. Have you thought about how long it took her to reach that point?
She's just confused.
How much she struggled? Think about what that means and take responsibility for it.
I can't believe you're doing this to me.
This is the last time I'm going to say this. You're old enough to know who's really at fault here.
You're supposed to be my mother. You're supposed to be on my side, not hers.
Being your mother doesn't mean supporting your bad behavior.
Bad behavior? I provided for her. I gave her everything she needed.
Money isn't everything, Tom.
What else could she want? She had a good life.
Did she? When was the last time you asked her if she was happy?
She never complained.
She complained all the time. You just never listened.
Then she should have tried harder to make me understand.
Like the time she told you about her panic attacks?
Those weren't real. She was just being dramatic.
I went with her to the hospital, Tom. I saw her shaking and crying.
You're just exaggerating.
The doctors put her on medication because of you.
That's not true.
I have all the medical records. Do you want to see them?
You kept records?
I've been documenting everything, too.
What do you mean, everything?
Every time she called me crying, every hospital visit, every cruel thing you said to her.
You were spying on me?
I was just protecting her, because you wouldn't stop hurting her.
This is insane. You're both insane.
There's that blame again. Always someone else's fault.
Because it is. You both conspired against me.
We protected her from you. There's a difference.
I'm your son. Your only son.
And that breaks my heart even more.
What's that supposed to mean?
That I raised someone who could treat his wife this way.
I treated her fine.
Is that why she flinched every time you raised your voice?
She was just being sensitive.
No, Tom. She was being abused by you.
Abused! Don't you dare use that word!
What would you call it then?
I never laid a hand on her!
Abuse isn't just physical. You broke her spirit. It was emotional abuse.
Now you're just being dramatic like her!
Remember about last Christmas?
What about it?
When you humiliated her in front of the entire family because dinner was too dry.
That was just a joke!
Nobody was laughing, Tom.
She's turned you against me completely!
No, you did that all on your own.
I can fix this! Just help me to talk to her!
There's nothing to fix. It's over.
It can't be over! I won't let it be over!
That's exactly the problem. You think you can control everything.
I'm trying to save my marriage!
Your marriage was over long before those divorce papers.
No, it wasn't! We were fine until you interfered!
You want to know when it was over?
When you stuck your nose in our business!
It was over the day she called me crying from the hospital.
Stop bringing up the hospital!
She had a panic attack so severe they thought she was having a heart attack.
That's not my fault!
You know what she said to me that day?
I don't want to hear this!
She said, I don't think I'll survive another year with him.
She never said that! I don't believe you!
I recorded it. Do you want to hear it?
You recorded her?
I told you. I kept everything, Tom. Everything.
Why would you do this to me?
To protect her, and to make sure you couldn't deny it later.
I don't believe any of this!
That's your problem. You never believe anything that doesn't fit your version of reality.
I can change! I'll prove it to her!
It's too late for that.
It's never too late!
She's already moved on.
She can't move on! She needs me!
There you go again. She doesn't need you. She never did.
Of course she needs me! Who's gonna take care of her?
She's taking care of herself and doing a much better job of it without you.
This isn't fair!
Fair? You want to talk about fair?
Yes! This isn't fair to me!
Was it fair when you made her apologize for your mistakes?
That's different!
Was it fair when you blamed her for your forgetfulness?
Stop it!
Was it fair when you made her feel worthless every single day?
I never did that!
The sad thing is, you actually believe that.
Because it's true!
No, Tom. The truth is, you're exactly like your father used to be.
Don't bring Dad into this!
The same patterns, the same excuses, the same blame.
I'm nothing like him!
You're right. At least he learned to change.
I can change too!
Not until you admit what you've done.
I haven't done anything!
And that's why you'll end up alone.
You can't just abandon me like this!
I'm not abandoning you. I'm choosing to stop enabling you.
Some mother you are!
A mother's job is to teach her children right from wrong.
By destroying their marriage?
By stopping them from destroying someone else.
I hate you for this!
I can live with that, as long as Sarah is safe. Sarah doesn't want to see you anymore. Please leave her alone and stop texting her. She's suffered enough. Give her the space she needs. I filed for alimony against Tom. With Barbara's help, the process went smoothly, and he had to pay everything up front. Barbara told me she decided to cut ties with Tom after seeing how he handled all of this. Right until the end, Tom kept blaming others and insisting he did nothing wrong. Just like I warned him, his behavior led to irreversible consequences. It's his own fault, so I don't feel any sympathy. He got exactly what he deserved. I don't know directly what happened to Tom after that, but Barbara told me that because of paying the alimony in full, he's struggling financially. Apparently, he's now living alone in a rundown apartment. As for me, I'm back at my parents' house and preparing to live on my own. I have a lot to do. Saving money, finding a new place, and so on. But since getting away from Tom, my health has improved, and I'm actually enjoying my current situation.